Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be previewing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers matchup versus the Los Angeles Chargers. This video is sponsored by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, by the way. More on them a little bit later on. This is the only team that the Buccaneers have to face with a winning record left on their schedule, and the Chargers have been a bit of a mixed bag this year. Let's first talk about the Chargers offense versus the Buccaneers defense, because right now the Chargers are scoring 21.3 points per game. That's 20th out of the 32 teams in the NFL. On the flip side, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense is allowing 23.8 points per game. That's 22nd out of 32 teams in the NFL. So a below average offense versus a below average defense. Now, Justin Herbert has been very good at taking care of the football this year. He only has one interception this year to 14 touchdowns. That's good on paper, but it also goes to show that this isn't necessarily the same Justin Herbert that we have seen in seasons past, where he is throwing the football a ton and racking up a ton of different passing stats and accolades and whatnot. And mainly that is because their receiving room has been lackluster. Their top option far and away is Ladd McConkey. He has got 815 receiving yards this year, 4 receiving touchdowns. Beneath him, you've got tight end Will Dissly, who's got 418 yards and a touchdown. You've got Quentin Johnson, who's got 414 yards and 7 touchdowns. So the Chargers offense has not necessarily been the running, or I guess I should say the passing attack that they have been in seasons past, which for the Bucs, hey, that's not too shabby, because the Bucs actually have allowed the 30th most passing yards this year. So figure to say that, yeah, in terms of what the Chargers like to do on offense, which is not pass, bodes well for the Bucs. And let's talk about the Bucs rushing defense versus the Chargers rushing attack. Right now, the Bucs have the 11th best rushing defense in the entirety of the NFL. The Chargers, coming into this game, actually have the 14th best rushing attack, but they are number 1 in rushing touchdowns this year. Or sorry. My apologies. They're 19th in rushing offense this year. They are 12th in rushing touchdowns this year. I was looking at their defensive rankings. We'll get into that in a little bit. But, of course, they had J.K. Dobbins with a bit of a resurgence here. 766 rushing yards, 8 rushing touchdowns. But he's hurt. He's out. So Gus Edwards will be your main running back. 274 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns this year. Now, the Bucs did give Sincere McCormick some good looks last week against the Raiders, but Vita Vea is still Vita Vea. Kalijah is still Kalijah. That is still 2 of the, I would say, best players, if not better. I mean, Levante David's obviously, up there, Antoine Winfield Jr. as well, Zon McCollum, but, point being is that Vita Vea and Kalijah are pretty darn good. They will be a big factor, in my opinion, going up against this Chargers offense and Gus Edwards and this rushing attack. Real quick, folks, I do want to say, again, a thank you to the sponsor of this video, BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. If you use the promo code YouTube150, you get a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit, 125% bonus on your next 2 deposits. That is up to $2,000. Thanks so much to BetUS Sportsbook and Casino for being the proud sponsor of this channel. Folks, back to what I was talking about. We're going to shift gears now to the Buccaneers offense versus the Chargers defense. Now, the Buccaneers offense is scoring 27.9 points per game. That's 5th in the NFL. The Buccaneers have the 5th best scoring offense in the NFL. The Chargers defensively are allowing a 15.9 points per game. There's no adjective to describe it, really. That's the best in the NFL. The Chargers have the best defense in the NFL in terms of allowing points. That's pretty darn good. They're 8th in passing yards allowed, 9th in passing touchdowns allowed. They're 5th in interceptions this year, by the way. They're 14th in rushing yards this year. They're 1st in rushing touchdowns allowed this year. Any way you slice it, teams are finding not a lot of ways to score on this Chargers defense. The Chargers have only allowed over 20 points twice this year. Those offenses, the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. So You have teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers only able to score 20. Kansas City, 19 and 17 points in both times that they have faced them. That's a tough matchup, man. That's a tough matchup. And they've got stars all over the board, right? They've got Khalil Mack, Bud Dupree, Joey Bosa, Derwin James. They've got Tuli Tuipulotu, who's out there doing some incredible things this year. Puna Ford's on that defensive line. They've got a lot of dudes, okay? They've got a lot of dudes. Where can the Bucs capitalize here? Where? Well, they're going to have to rely on their playmakers as well. I'm talking about Mike Evans. I'm talking about Bucky Irving, who should hopefully be good to go in this game. Rachaad White had a good game last week. Cade Otton's going to have to be more involved. Baker is going to have to not turn over the football. You're going to have to play a pretty clean game, in my opinion. Defensively, this is the bread and butter of why the Chargers have been winning, right? Now, I will say, it's good that the Bucs have a good offense going into this matchup. I think that they have a very creative mind in Liam Cohen, who will hopefully be able to get something going here against this Chargers defense, but this is going to be the matchup, right? The Buccaneers defense, or the Buccaneers offense versus this Chargers defense. Two of the top units in the league. What's going to give, right? Well, we're going to have to wait and see, but that's going to be the big factor there. I think they are going to have to rely on their playmakers in Evans, in the running backs, in Cade Otton. They're going to have to get creative, man. They're going to have to get creative, and Baker is going to have to play, in my opinion, probably his cleanest ball yet this season. So we'll see, man. We'll see, but that is the matchup, in my opinion. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions. I would love to hear them down in the comments section below. What do you think about this matchup? What do you think about this game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Let me know your thoughts and opinions. I would love to hear them. One more shout out to BetUS Sportsbook and Casino for being the proud sponsor of this video. And guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. As always, guys, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.